This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Thursday. Where's Warlord to tell me I'm late? YouTubers live in sexual anarchy? Which ones? Can you point me to them? Can you tell me which channels? Yeah, for research. Welcome, clinically. Good evening. Once again, tone doesn't come across in text. M Lord, good evening, my friend. Libertad, welcome in. We have a jam-packed night of news for you. All kinds of crazy shit going on, especially if you like the crime stories. I feel like I got some really outlandish shit. That's the best word I can use to describe it. Outlandish shit going on. We might have a sighting of the dude who probably faked his death. Thought he died in a kayaking accident, but apparently had a mistress overseas. We might have a sighting. A cargo plane had to make an emergency landing. 2 people survived a small plane that crashed in a field. A repairman who was banned in South Carolina has struck again. It said banned repairman strikes again was the headline. I was like, well, that sounds like the kind of thing I want to find out what that news be doing. These people were using bears to run an insurance scheme. A mom has died after she was ejected from a golf cart. A suspect live streamed an attempted murder. So I assume we got some good video of it. A police sting in Indiana went horribly wrong. Because of course it did. We're going to check in with everyone's favorite mayor, the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Tiffany Henyard. Apparently some things weren't to her liking and she decided to call the cops. New video shows the last moments of a man once considered Gaza's best doctor. He dead now. This comes as Human Rights Watch is speaking out about the war crimes committed by Israel. Ilhan Omar told the dude to fuck off. Just makes me like her that much more. The founder of Polymarket was raided by the FBI. Rudy Giuliani's lawyer is wanting to quit his case. Steve Bannon has threatened MSNBC. We're going to hear from Jamie Dimon speaking on Trump. The younger, it's Doug Ducey? Is that the one that's the White House correspondent? Or is that Peter? I get the Duceys mixed up. The younger Ducey asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre if Biden had apologized to Trump. Plus Trump with a couple other big picks, including RFK as the head of Health and Human Services. All that and a lot freaking more tonight on the Troll Patrol. Live. Good evening. Welcome. Here's your meme of the day. This is taken from the scene in Seinfeld where Kramer and Newman stumble upon the castaway set of the Merv Griffin show. Set it up in Kramer's apartment. We need a new format. We should shut down and retool. Kramer and Newman behind the desk at InfoWars. Still not as funny as what actually happened. And I guess that's the story everybody wants to get to. Onion Gal, good evening. Minty Treasure, Torchy, welcome in. We're going to do some serious news, and then we'll get to the fun stuff, okay? Serious news, then a little fun stuff. Serious news, a little fun stuff. That's how I try to break it up over here. We are heading to a recount in Pennsylvania in the Senate race.
The results of the recount in the Pennsylvania Senate race will be announced on November 27th. The unofficial election results show the margin between Republican
Flash, good evening.
and incumbent Democratic Senator Bob Casey
TS.
within a half a point, which automatically triggered a recount. Now, in a virtual update in the last half hour, Secretary of the Commonwealth Al Schmidt explained counters will need to use a different method or different equipment that they used to provide initial unofficial results. That process must begin by November 20th. About 80,000 ballots are still outstanding in the initial count. McCormick is leading Casey by less than 26,000 votes, with 99% of the expected vote now in.
So McCormick with a slight advantage, but going to a recount, we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, elections have consequences. We have a new Health and Human Services Secretary. I can't believe there is a Kennedy in a Trump cabinet.
We want to get to President-elect Trump's latest nomination, one that could upend the medical industry nationwide. Just over an hour ago, he announced Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. That would put him in charge of 13 agencies, including the Food and Drug Administration and Centers for Disease Control. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Lawrence. Kennedy has strongly opposed some accepted medical practices. He's falsely claimed that vaccines cause autism and said, quote, "There's no vaccine that is safe and effective." He just reiterated a plan to remove fluoride from tap water, claiming it leads to neurodevelopmental disorders and IQ loss. And he's been outspoken about scrapping entire teams like the nutrition department at the FDA. But Kennedy has also pushed for healthier school lunches and argues that federal health regulators are heavily influenced by special interests. He's promised to overhaul the entire system if Congress approves his nomination.
Yay, RFK, because, you know, we don't have a serious outbreak we need to deal with at all. Teen with bird flu in Canada hospitalized is in critical condition. I saw today that we still don't know exactly what the death rate will be, but apparently they're thinking it's going to be around 53%. That is insane. Still don't know for sure. It's like 80-something% in birds. It's fucking deadly. The teenager, who was previously healthy, had no farm exposure, but had been exposed to dogs, cats, and reptiles. This was a healthy teenager prior to this, so no underlying conditions. It just reminds us that in young people, this is a virus that can progress and cause quite severe illness, and the deterioration that I mentioned was quite rapid. British Columbia health officials said on Saturday the province had detected Canada's first human case of H5 bird flu in a teenager. Henry said the province is still identifying the exact strain, but assumes the case is H5N1. The World Health Organization says H5N1's risk to humans is low because there is no evidence of human transmission. But the virus has been found in an increasing number of animals, including cattle in the United States. We're up to 15 herds in California. Dozens across the world. That is the worrying thing about RFK. Is Elon Musk already getting on Donald Trump's nerves?
Another jaw-dropping cabinet pick from President-elect Trump today. RFK Jr. has been tapped to run Health and Human Services. Kennedy,
just said that.
vaccine denier, will now be in charge of the nation's vaccines if he's confirmed.
This is somebody who has been pushing quackery, who has been pushing lies, who has been pushing conspiracy theories.
And he's even targeting the boss, blasting Trump for his eating habits.
The stuff that he eats is really like bad.
Kennedy
Yes.
slammed the fast food menu served aboard Trump Force One.
The food that goes onto that airplane is like just poison.
Meanwhile, at Mar-a-Lago last night, Trump and his new best bud, Elon Musk, belted out God Bless America with an opera singer.
Oh my
But Musk
God.
doesn't seem to know the words. They've been inseparable since election night.
We have to get Elon with his boy.
I think Musk is becoming like first buddy. You know, he's hanging
First
around.
buddy.
Foreign leaders call. Trump puts him on the phone with him.
Musk is embracing his new
Monsieur Balls.
happy to be first buddy. According to one report, Musk is annoying Trump advisors and confidants. Quote, he's there all the time.
Some around the transition are starting to kind of get a view that Musk is like the guest who wouldn't leave after the party.
And we're seeing new images from Wednesday's historic Biden-Trump summit, including this photo with First Lady Dr. Jill. She gave Trump a message for the noticeably absent Melania.
She gave the president-elect a handwritten letter to congratulate Mrs.
Well, thank you, Balls.
And so also express their readiness to be involved and engaged with her team.
Tadpole, good evening. You saw Karine Jean-Pierre in that clip. She was asked earlier today if Biden apologized to Trump.
I'm going to move on. Go ahead, Ed. And it's not just him. You heard this from former staffers. You've heard it from the former chief of staff, John Kelly, and others. You heard it directly from the president-elect, the former president, about enemy of the people. Very, very clear. Very clear. What we want to be also very clear about is the importance of listening to the will of the American people. There was an election. It is important to respect our institution. It is important to respect the free and fair elections. And that's what this president is doing. Leading by example and putting that aside and putting the American people first. But what he said still stands. And it's not just him. We should not just put this at the president. His own people said this. So I want to be really, really clear about that and not forget the facts. There are facts here that we should certainly also lift up as you're asking me these questions. Go ahead, Anita.
Thank you. Did the two presidents discuss transatlantic security or climate change efforts and the U.S. role in that? And relatedly, what is
An actual question. Oh, we're going to cut it off. We're not going to let her answer the actual question. But I mean, apparently Trump is a threat to somebody because Tyrus says that the establishment is scared.
Anchor and Tyrus, Fox News contributor and Fox Nation host. Great to have both of you with us. Thank you very much. You know, I find this so intriguing. And I posted earlier some work that Tom Coburn did a long time ago where he used to do this waste report, senator from Oklahoma, and he outlined all of this garbage that the government spends money on. Just a couple of quick examples. Russian cat research. NIH awarded $540 million to a Russian lab to study cats. Empty federal buildings.
What was the study, though?
I think we just touched on because there's so many federal workers.
I see Rand Paul does this all the time. He'll name off like blah, 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 spent yada-da on this. And then you look it up and it sounds very reasonable. It's always like Rand Paul always makes it sound like it's absurd. So like Russian cat research. Exactly what was the research?
Who don't show up and haven't shown up since COVID to work in their jobs. So that seems pretty easy to get rid of them. But there is so much resistance against this. And I confronted a little bit of it when I talked to Larry Summers a week or so ago. And I told him that Musk says you can cut $2 trillion out of government spending. And watch what he said.
Respectfully, I think it's idiotic. Okay. It's not a serious statement. Where are they going to cut it out of? Even if you took all the employees, every single person who works for the federal government out, you couldn't save anything like $2 trillion. Maybe what they're saying is that they plan to cut Social Security benefits. Maybe what they're saying is that they plan to scale back Medicare.
So that is the scare tactic that keeps us from ever cutting anything, because as soon as you suggest it, as Larry Summers says, oh, it's such an idiotic idea.
It was a study about spinal cord injuries. That sounds like something you might want to study, spinal cord injuries.
Never happened. As soon as you start suggesting it, they go, oh no, it's Social Security and Medicare. Don't touch it. But it's not. There's so much more there, right, David?
Well, and we've been here before. There was the Grace Commission back in the 1980s, and they came out with a whole list of stuff that should be cut. It added up to about $400 billion, which in today's money is just about that $2 trillion that Elon was talking about. By the way, Larry Summers was right.
He's not a rapper, Flash. He's a wrestler. He was the NWA champion up until about a year ago, I think.
And it was right before the election, and he was electioneering more than anything. He knows that there's money.
Yes, permanent Fox News guest.
Out, and there's a lot of it that can be cut out. And unlike the 1980s, when the Grace Commission tried,
it could never happen.
This dude right here, this is Tyrus. He's a wrestler. Hold on. Hold on. I played a WWE clip one time without sound. They still got me. I don't know how they did it. God, what was his WWE name? Holy shit. Brodus Clay. Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this so much.
As soon as you start suggesting it, they go, oh no, it's Social Security and Medicare. Don't touch it. But it's not. There's so much more there, right, David?
Where the McCallum sucks.
There was the Grace Commission back in the 1980s, and they came out with a whole list of stuff that should be cut. It added up to about $400 billion, which in today's money is just about that $2 trillion that Elon was talking about. By the way, Larry Summers was right, and it was right before.
This dude's name is David Assman. I'm sorry. I guess it's Asman. Add another S, it's totally Assman.
Before the election, and he was electioneering more than anything. He knows that there's money there that can be cut out.
David Assman.
Can be cut out. And unlike the 1980s, when the Grace Commission tried and failed to do it, now you have this incredible inclusion of people who can spread the news, not only in terms of getting people to sign up for this. By the way, the Grace Commission was paid for by donations. It was not government money, and I assume the same thing will be done here.
Yeah, sounds like it is.
But you think of the
find way more than $2 trillion in the defense budget.
Influence that he has, and the other people that are involved in this, and what we have seen, like the Department of Education.
Lenny, welcome. I thought that we wouldn't be hearing from you during your China leg of the adventure. I'm glad to know that you're safe. Because we did a story about some dude driving into a crowd of people in China. It was like, oh, I think Lenny's there. So glad to hear from you. And then I'm like, wait a minute, China's a huge fucking country. Just because something happens in China and Lenny is there, it's way bigger than the U.S., so.
Oh, you can't touch the Department of Education.
Glad to see you're saving well, though,
The
friend.
mission statement of the Department of Education, I'm going to read it. You're not going to believe it. ED's mission is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence. I tell you, it has failed miserably in that mission statement.
Yeah.
And the more we pay for it, the lower the test scores go. So I think there's a lot of things
because
that
we
can
know
be
where
cut.
our students rank, and we know they're
Definitely going after the Department of Education.
This is Eric Adams. I thought this was interesting. Let's hear what he had to say about it. Democratic mayor of New York City. Watch.
That's the smartest thing I ever heard him say.
One of the people I think is most important to bring on board, some people may argue, is Elon Musk. We have to move away from the rotary dial age, move into the smartphone age. Government has to change. It's not serving people correctly. Is this an awakening moment or not?
No, I think the awakening is we pretty soon we'll be calling him Republican, Mayor Adams. I think that's where this is probably going. Listen,
we've already been calling him that.
That ridiculous so-called intellectual speech that man gave about how it would come after Social Security. That's not what it's going to come after. It's going to come after people who are unqualified, who get placed in these jobs, and they get all kinds of money behind them. So what this is one of the biggest parts of draining the swamp. You're no longer going to be able to give lobbyists, family members jobs. You're no longer going to be able to load up things on the back end and people get it on this, that, whatever. So this is why they're afraid.
This is Tyrus, formerly known as Brodus Clay in the WWE. Hold on.
People that are yelling and complaining, those are the ones you should be looking under the
Can
microscope.
I just say that this could also be a primer for local governments, because as we know here in New York, they know it in LA, they know it in Chicago, local governments have expanded just as much percentage-wise, and they are spending money left and right and interfering with our lives. So maybe what the feds do will spill over into the local governments.
You know what? We have to be hopeful about this, because no matter what party you're in, this is something that would lower your taxes ultimately, because spending in the government would be reduced because they are wasting enormous amounts of our hard-earned taxpayer money. I thought it was hilarious that Senator Elizabeth Warren said of DOJ, oh, it's off to a great start. 2 people to do the work of 1 person. Yeah, seems really efficient.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
Created in
You know how much?
She's
roasting him.
She's pushing
Oh
integrity.
my gosh. Yeah, so much
She's on the
redundancy
warpath,
in the federal government. These 2 guys, it's going to take way more than 2
Call her an
pull
Indian.
this off if they can actually get to it. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank
Tyrus
you.
and David, great to see you as always.
Click here to subscribe.
Llama, welcome in. Chaos Kanaji? Did I get that close? Chaos Kanaji. I'm horrible with names. Anarchy, welcome in, my friend. Kanaji. It's a very witty name. I'm just fucking it up. I appreciate the wordplay. Anarcho Ashkenazi. There we go. I'm still going to fuck it up. And I apologize in advance for it. But I appreciate the wordplay. You know what? I'm going to throw it out. I don't even give a shit what Jamie Dimon says. Let's not do it. Let's go to the fun stuff like Steve Bannon threatening MSNBC. That's the fun stuff. Let's go to the war room.
The American people weighed and measured, and you were inundated for years. Weissman, you were on TV with MSNBC and all the producers of MSNBC. Preserve your documents. Ari Melbourne, all you hosts, preserve your documents. All of it. You better be worried. You better lawyer up.
Fresh out of...
Some of you young producers better call mom and dad.
Fresh out of jail.
Mom and dad, you know a good lawyer? Lawyer up. Lawyer up.
You should know a few, don't you, Steve?
You tried to destroy Trump. You tried to imprison Trump. You tried to break Trump. He's not breakable. You couldn't destroy him.
Why so dankness?
And now
welcome in, my friend.
Turned on you, and he's put a firebrand in charge of Maine Justice, Department of Justice.
That's definitely the nose of a man who likes to have what you think he drinks. Scotch? Whiskey sour? What's this man's drink of choice? I feel like it's a brown liquor. It's a bourbon. It's something in that family.
You better lawyer up. Some of you young producers better call mom and dad tonight. Hey, mom and dad, you know a good lawyer? Lawyer up.
Hey, I'm from Kentucky.
Lawyer up. You tried to destroy Trump. You tried to imprison Trump. You tried to break Trump. He's not breakable. You couldn't destroy him. And now he has turned on you, and he's put a firebrand in charge.
Flash bringing the Russian angle into it. Possibly.
And you're going to have to live with it. Andrew Weissman and all your McCabe and Comey.
It sounds like a threat.
Oh, Lord. You haven't heard me. I've never complained about this, never bitched and moaned about it. It just came with the territory. I understood they feared us. And why they fear us? Because we were coming to take down the globalists and the deep state. And that was...
I keep hearing that they're going to take down the globalists, and I keep pointing out J.D. Vance is a venture capitalist with investments all over the world. Donald Trump, a supposed billionaire with investments all over the world. They are globalists. What the fuck are you people talking about? I also hear that Donald Trump is going to release the Epstein files. I'm like, he's in them. What are you talking about? You stupid fucks. I love that there are so many right-wingers that told me they were voting against Kamala Harris because she was the party of Epstein and P. Diddy. And there's video of Trump praising Epstein and P. Diddy. Is the cognitive dissonance is absurd. But you know, sometimes there is cosmic justice. There is karma in the world. Sometimes. I present to you the story you have all been waiting for.
So we are here on air right now, and I want to see the documents. I want to see the court order. The Onion buys Alex Jones InfoWars at auction with help from Sandy Hook family. So they're buying a company to get the equipment, the name, and money that's in InfoWars.
Your supplements?
To then give it to themselves. But it's not about the money. So, again, it's insane. When I go to these court hearings, these people are there, particularly Connecticut, they just smile at me and like wait by the door and like, it's like, and it's like they live on me and talk about me, and I'm their persecutor because I'm famous and successful and barely ever talked about them. So they're attached to me. And the FBI and the CIA cooked all this up.
Wow. Now you may ask yourself, why did the Onion buy InfoWars? Luckily for us, the Onion told us exactly why they bought InfoWars. Today we celebrate a new addition to the global Tetradron LLC family of brands. And let me say, I really do see it as a family. Much like family members, our brands are abstract nodes of wealth, interchangeable assets for their patriarch to absorb and discard according to the opaque whims of the market. And just like family members, our brands regard one another with mutual suspicion and malice. All told, the decision to acquire InfoWars was an easy one for the Global Tetradron Executive Board. Founded in 1999 on the heels of the Satanic Panic and growing steadily ever since, InfoWars has distinguished itself as an invaluable tool for brainwashing and controlling the masses. With a shrewd mix of delusional paranoia and dubious anti-aging nutrition hacks, they strive to make... Alex was looking a lot better than the last time I saw him in that clip. They strive to make life both scarier and longer for everyone. A commendable goal. To make life scarier and longer for everyone. They are a true unicorn. Capable of simultaneously inspiring public support for billionaires and stoking outrage in an inept federal state that can assassinate JFK but can't even put a man on the moon. Through it all, InfoWars has shown an unswerving commitment to manufacturing anger and radicalizing the most vulnerable members of society, values that resonate deeply with all of us at Global Techedron. No, what does this word even mean? That's probably also a joke. A 3-dimensional shape with 4 triangular faces, 6 edges, and 4 vertices. One kind of pyramid. Interesting. No price would be too high for such a cornucopia of malleable assets and minds, and yet, in a stroke of good fortune, a formidable special interest group has outwitted the hapless owner of InfoWars, a forgettable man with an already forgotten name, and forced him to sell it at a steep bargain, less than $1 trillion. Make no mistake, this is a coup for our company and a well-deserved victory for multinational elites the world over. What's next for InfoWars remains a live issue. The excess funds initially allocated for the purchase will be reinvested into our philanthropic efforts that include business school scholarships for promising cult leaders, a charity that donates elections to at-risk third world dictators, and a new pro bono program pairing orphans with stable factory jobs at no cost to the factories. As for the vitamins and supplements, we are halting their sale immediately. Utilitarian logic dictates that if we can extend even one CEO's life by 10 minutes, diluting those miracle elixirs for public consumption is an unethical waste. Instead, we plan to collect the entire stock of the InfoWars warehouses into a large vat and boil the contents down into a single candy bar-sized omnivitamin that one executive, I will not name names, may eat in order to increase his power and perhaps become immortal. All will be revealed in due time. For now, let's enjoy this win and toast to the continued consolidation of power and capital. Infinite growth forever. Bryce D. Tetrader. I fucked that one up. The global pyramid. But I feel like we didn't get enough Schadenfreude out of it. So here is Alex Jones, apparently the moment he found out, having a fucking breakdown.
It's 7:50 right now. I'm about to upload this to X. I just got word 15 minutes ago that my lawyers and folks met with the U.S. trustee over our bankruptcy this morning, and they said they're shutting us down even without a court order. This morning, the Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling I told you that. And just like they tried to shut us down back in late May without a court order, they're supposed to have a court order. There's going to be injunctions filed. I'm about to go live out of Harrison's American Journal studio. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be here until they come in here and turn the lights off. I'm going to say, where's your court order? So this is all going down right now. They want to silence the American people, but we're not going to be silenced. Be sure and follow me at the Alex Jones Network at AJN Live on X right now. They're filed in court to take real Alex Jones away. That's totally unconstitutional. The judge already said no, so they filed in other courts. So the live feed going up by the time you see this at AJN Live and at Real Alex Jones right now. Share this everywhere. This is a total attack on free speech. The deep state is completely out of control. The private security hasn't even been told all this yet. They tried to tell them last time, the other U.S. trustee, to shut us down on that court order. These folks said no. So this is all happening right now. This is the tyranny of the New World Order, desperate to silence the American people. The mandate of Trump against all the lawfare, they don't care.
The lawfare.
Thinks it's in charge. I'm going live right now from what probably will be the last transmission from this building. God bless you all for your support. Please support our sponsors so we get funds to stay on the air at the Alex Jones Network, thealexjonestore.com. Take action. I need your support. InfoWars.
He needs your money.
For this whole global movement that's happening. Your support did that. You're the reason it's happening. You are the resistance. God bless and good luck.
If I was the Onion, this is how I'd look when I was coming into Alex Jones's office and studios. Might actually be a live look at the in celebration. I feel like I play it all the time. But we need to do this because this is the day to do it.
Made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry.
He's making biscuits.
Enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man.
I feel like a Nori would see this and be like, there's no way he's actually saying that.
In the same room with that
There's no way those are the actual words that are coming out of his mouth. And they are.
That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
Like, I would assume a normie sees this and thinks it's like a bad lip reading or something.
After us, my spirit gets close to that evil.
But once again, it is not.
We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna steal your daughter at the mall. We're gonna steal your wife, your son. We're gonna
Mox.
stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet.
I was at the gym watching Fox News.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Sorry, been a while since I watched it. Fuck the ending up. That's my favorite part. There's no way I'm gonna pull out another Alex Jones song on you. No way.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? Gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. Gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby.
Hope they wash it first.
Christ would eat somebody, he would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready.
Christ wouldn't eat anybody.
Leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
I would just like to apologize for my culpability in making that motherfucker famous. I was a 9/11 truther. I was very into Alex Jones around the 2002, 2003, 2004 time period. I helped put him on the map, so I am sorry. Monster balls. What makes you think it's time for what makes you think I even have a car chase just locked, loaded, and ready to go? Why would you think that? This happened last night in LA.
On the transition. Coming up to a light, I believe. He's got a red light. He's got a red light at the end of that transition. He's making a right turn. Right turn, south Canyon Boulevard, off the freeway. 3 LAPD units now getting off of the freeway with him. A 4th unit back there joining the pursuit. So
Trump did 9/11.
Complete pursuit package on his tail as he now heads
It
south
said package.
on Laurel Canyon Boulevard.
He's got a package up his tail.
BMW wanted for DUI, believed to be heavily armed here. You can see the windows are pretty dark. It's hard to see inside.
The windows.
So, right now, we're just operating with the assumption that there's a driver in there, and whether any.
I believe there's a driver in there, Chris.
We have no confirmation of that at this point.
I mean, we do have some self-driving cars nowadays, but I'm pretty sure there's a driver.
Laurel Canyon Boulevard, a high-speed chase now off the freeway. LAPD right behind this suspect as they continue to chase him through the streets of Los Angeles on surface streets here in the San Fernando Valley.
He's going around at the stoplight.
Traffic to get around this red light, around traffic, making a wild left turn through the red light. LAPD making that turn with him, and there is indeed a passenger.
It's just anecdotal on my part, but since we've been doing police chases, I feel like it's
2 people inside,
averaging one every other day.
Now making a turn onto Van Nuys Boulevard.
But those may just be the ones that, we see. They may average every day, and we only see half of them.
Eastbound Van Nuys Boulevard, coming up on Oneida Avenue. LAPD, lights and sirens blaring, code 3.
I always love tint, but it will make you a target for police. Supposedly, a lot of places you're not allowed to pull someone over because of their tint. That's like a secondary thing, but cops will make a reason to pull you over. That's something to keep in mind.
Coming up to another busy intersection, making the right turn there.
I believe there's 2 people in there.
Southbound San Fernando from Van Nuys Boulevard. And LAPD now trying to get units ahead of him. If they have an opportunity, might see a spike strip here. We'll see here as he continues to speed through these intersections.
Also, I'm one of those mind over matter kind of guys.
Just blowing through all of them.
Put an FOP sticker on the back of your truck.
At least 2 people inside of this vehicle.
Get yourself an FOP bumper sticker and put it on the back of your vehicle.
All 4 units in tow, making the turns with him here.
Be proactive.
The gap there as he navigates the
Flash says no.
Slowing down a bit here.
I can get an ADT sign and put it in your yard.
More narrow streets. Felt much better about this on the freeway, but once we
get you a thin blue line flag.
All bets are off, and if he continues driving dangerously,
if it's just to take the heat off of you, so you can do dirty shit, do it.
On a residential street here.
That's if you're running drugs, thin blue line flag.
Yep. Another right turn. This looks like an alleyway. He's in an east-west alley off of Van Nuys Boulevard.
Anonymously, welcome in.
His way through Pacoima here as LAPD is just about 1 or 2 car lengths.
Monsieur Balls requested a car chase, and since I'm a man of the people, we stopped the news and did a car chase. Oh, shit.
On the brakes, driver and passengers getting out. 3 passengers.
There's 3 of them.
The vehicle keeps going. 3 passengers jumping out of the vehicle. The driver continues the pursuit. They dropped off 3 passengers in this housing development here. You can see 3 passengers running through there, and the driver continues the chase. Now, one of those pursuing officers, at least one, possibly 2, are going to bail and try and track down those suspects. The air unit is going to continue to follow the vehicle here. You can see another second suspect there. There were 3 total now running through that apartment building and now into a parking lot. The driver continues the chase into a parking lot in an adjacent apartment complex around this parking lot, looking for a spot to dump the vehicle. LAPD now trying for a pit maneuver potentially in this parking lot into a carport here.
Wait, what?
And we'll see if he just gives up peacefully here or if he jumps out of the vehicle and tries to run for it. You can see officers now out with their guns drawn. The vehicle coming to a stop inside of a parking spot. Driver out of the vehicle, and he now is complying with those officers. You can see he is now proned out in the parking lot. They will immediately move over to those other 3 suspects. They are going to have this person in custody any second now. This pursuit coming to about as safe a resolution as possible, ending in a parking lot of an apartment complex at Pierce and Norris Avenue in Pacoima. There are 2 airships overhead, 1 airship tracking.
Well, his mates probably have whatever the incriminating evidence is.
Another airship seeing this through.
Whether it be drugs or
clearing the vehicle, about to give a
stolen goods.
Here any minute. Once they clear this vehicle, they will arrest that suspect. He appears to be maintaining the position there with his arms spread out there. An arrest team getting ready to approach that suspect. And the joyride is over for these guys. Driver in custody. I think we can now zip over and see if we could get a glimpse, Robbie, of the other 3. If they have anybody else in custody, we should be able to find them here in just a second. I would imagine they got at least 1, but we'll see here. There were 3 total that jumped out of the vehicle, and then he kept going right here at Bradley and Van Nuys Boulevard, and it looks like they're chasing somebody right there on foot. Officers running through this playground.
Cops should be allowed near playgrounds.
They've got him. They've got him. They've got him. The airship calling out the location, Van Nuys Boulevard at Bradley right there. One of the suspects now proned out on the sidewalk. Now we've got 2 out of 4 in custody.
Nuts.
Officers still looking for those 2 other suspects. We saw 1 person running through with a backpack. Somebody ran inside.
Oh my God, T-Minus, that's horrible.
So at least one of the other 2 suspects ran inside, probably both hiding out at this moment.
Yeah, we watched the fatal wreck a couple weeks ago.
To potentially create a perimeter here.
And I still, I regret egging the driver on.
In custody, 1 other passenger in custody at least.
I mean, it's not like I caused her death.
Outstanding. That's the driver right there. So 2 more outstanding. They will set up a containment zone, try and start door knocking here if they can figure out where he ended up running into. But this pursuit coming to an end in Pacoima.
Is he going to go door to door and start knocking on
hurt? That will do it for our coverage up here in Air 7.
Doors at the apartment complex in the middle of the night?
ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Chris Christie. So there was your police chase that Monsieur Balls made me leave the news to do. Because you would have really enjoyed the next story as well, you know? Rudy Giuliani's lawyers seek to quit defamation claim case over a fundamental disagreement. Lawyers representing Rudy Giuliani in a lawsuit related to a massive defamation judgment against him are seeking to quit the case in New York federal court. The lawyers cited major disagreements with the former Trump campaign attorney, Giuliani, who has been ordered to pay 2 Georgia election workers $146 million for making false claims about them. Giuliani represented now President-elect Donald Trump after the 2020 election.
Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
I'm going to miss you, Rudy, whenever you're not in the public eye, dancing for us like a monkey. I'm going to miss Alex Jones. Those songs brought me so much joy. I don't know who this motherfucker is, but I'm not going to miss him, and hopefully he's going away for a while. The founder of Polymarket, raided by the feds.
Law enforcement officials say the FBI is investigating crypto betting platform Polymarket. Sources say investigators even raided CEO Shane Copland's New York City home on Tuesday. The investigation is set to center on whether Polymarket violated a prior settlement with the U.S. government by allowing American-based users access to its platform. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky joins me now for more on that. Aaron, what's the latest on this investigation?
We don't know, other than what you said, that there was a prior agreement with the government that prevented, was supposed to prevent U.S.-based users from accessing this platform. That was with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and it allowed the platform allowed U.S. users to improperly bet on things that would happen in the future. It's an event market, events that would happen in the future, like a presidential race, who's going to win, for example. And they weren't supposed to do that. One avenue of the investigation is whether they maybe were secretly allowing U.S. users access to this platform. But oftentimes, Diane, as you know, a raid or a search is just the beginning stages of an investigation, so they can see what evidence they can find.
So what happens next?
We don't know. Either we know they took some electronics, phones, that kind of thing, and they'll look through it and see if there's any evidence of wrongdoing. If there is, you could be looking at an arrest or a prosecution. Polymarket said it's political because they think, since Polymarket accurately predicted the results of the presidential race, that somehow this is a partisan.
Didn't accurately predict shit.
And Copland said on Twitter that Polymarket aims to be non-partisan. We'll see how far it goes, and with the administration about to change, whether.
Also, very sorry to anyone that I told that you could make big money if you bet on Kamala Harris a couple of weeks ago. Clearly not a good idea. My apologies.
The investigation continues.
I know you're also following another breaking story. The satirical website The Onion bought Alex Jones's website InfoWars at auction, and this was after he was ordered to pay Sandy Hook victims' families more than $1 billion for alleging that that school shooting
$1 billion.
So why did The Onion now buy his website, and why are the Sandy Hook families supporting this?
We already
it sounds like an Onion article, right?
A little bit.
But it is actually very serious business, because the Sandy Hook families have been looking to silence Alex Jones as much as possible. And by selling off InfoWars, even to a satirical site like The Onion, it means all of Alex Jones's content, his content distribution platforms like the website and the like, all now go away. And if you go on InfoWars right now, you'll see a big white screen that says this site is no longer available. And the families, Diane, actually ended up taking a lot less money than what the InfoWars properties might have otherwise been worth, because they're more concerned with shutting down Alex Jones to the extent that's possible.
Yeah, probably shouldn't ever follow my advice.
They're owed for defamation.
Interesting. All right. ABC News senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky. Thanks, Aaron.
I shouldn't follow my own advice. I should do what George did and do the opposite of whatever my gut is telling me to do. There was a whole big uproar about a FEMA worker that was instructing people not to go to houses with Trump signs. They are speaking out now.
A fired FEMA official now confirms she did instruct workers to avoid homes with Trump signs or flags in hurricane-damaged Florida. And she says officials in the Biden-Harris administration knew all about it. FEMA fired Marnie Washington after the Daily Wire published this leaked FEMA work chat. But in an interview, Washington,
I bet it was a safety thing.
an isolated incident and actually was standard FEMA practice in several states.
If you look at the record, there is what
It had nothing to do with not wanting to provide aid to Trump supporters. It was for the safety of the workers because Trump supporters were likely to be violent towards federal agents. Yeah, that's when you threaten FEMA agents.
what we call a community trend. And unfortunately, it just so happened that the political hostility that was encountered by my team, and I was on 2 different teams during this deployment, they just so happened to have the Trump campaign signage. So this is not isolated. This is a colossal event of avoidance, not just in the state of Florida, but you will find avoidance in the Carolinas. Senior leadership will lie to you and tell you that they do not know. Demand for FEMA to give you those incident reports.
She said officials lied about it and tried to make her a scapegoat when she was just following FEMA.
Yeah, that's wrong.
North Carolina Congressman Richard Hudson wrote, "This is infuriating. We will ensure those responsible for this un-American abuse of power are held accountable. Investigations are..."
It's not an abuse of power.
And now the House Oversight Committee did announce FEMA Commissioner Deanne Criswell will testify next week on the guidance for workers to skip homes with Trump flags or signs.
Another one of those stories where the right is going to get hyper outraged about it. When they manufactured the danger to the FEMA workers in the first place. Who's your favorite congresswoman and why is it Ilhan Omar?
Go to Gaza, sweetheart, go to Gaza. Go to Gaza, sweetheart, go to Gaza. Go to Gaza, sweetheart, go to Gaza. Go to Gaza, sweetheart, go to Gaza.
Fuck off. Tell him, Rip Omar. What are you going to see if you go to Gaza? Let me show you what you're going to see if you go to Gaza. This was Gaza's best known doctor. We now know what happened to him in the final moments of his life.
This is the recovery room. Full darkness, no water, no electricity. But we have a hero, surgeons in Gaza.
These the words of Dr. Adnan Al-Bursh, one of the best-known surgeons in Gaza, as he documented the situation at Al-Shifa Hospital last year. The conditions were deteriorating in the weeks that followed October 7th. So bad, in fact, there was nowhere left to store the bodies. Here, Al-Bursh and colleagues dig mass graves in the hospital compound. The Israelis said Al-Shifa was used as a command and control center by Hamas, and they placed it under siege. Patients, staff, and displaced residents were forced to evacuate. But Al-Bursh took a different path. The beginning of his story in Israeli detention. He worked at several hospitals nearby, these pictures taken at Al-Alda Hospital, the last images we have of Dr. Al-Bursh. He was detained several days later after the hospital director said the men had to leave. His colleague, Dr. Mohammed Obeid, was with him at the time.
Surgeon told us that the occupation of all the males aged between 14 and 65 at the Adar Hospital. They told them verbatim that all the men don't come down. They will destroy Adar Hospital and all that's in it.
These drone images match his description of events. Obeid says the Israelis took 5 medical workers away, including Al-Bursh.
Felt he was in a very difficult situation. The occupation soldier took him, and the treatment was very rough.
Al-Bursh was sent to an Israeli army base called Stade Timan, used for processing detainees from Gaza. On arrival, he spoke to another doctor who'd been imprisoned at the facility.
He was so badly.
You guys see those images, right? Those are going to be in textbooks. The way images of Auschwitz in textbooks now.
The army base called Stade Timan, used for processing detainees from Gaza. On arrival, he spoke to another doctor who'd been imprisoned at the facility.
He was so badly treated, so he was unable even to go to the toilet alone. So I thought he was beaten very badly.
Dr. Al-Bursh would remain in Israeli custody and was sent the following April to this prison called Ofer. Shortly after his arrival, he died. News of the surgeon's death was announced quietly in May, the Israelis offering no explanation, no cause of death, nor have they returned the body to members of the family.
Fuck.
The regime at Ofer is harsh, something the prison service was keen to emphasize when an Israeli television channel was given this tour. And Sky News can reveal new information about Al-Bursh's death. A human rights lawyer has obtained a deposition from a prisoner at Ofer who said he witnessed the moments leading up to the doctor's death.
He had clearly been assaulted with injuries around his body. He was naked in the lower part of his body. The prison guard threw him in the middle of the yard and left him there.
The deposition says Al-Bursh was taken by an inmate to one of the cells.
A few minutes later, prisoners were heard screaming from the room they went into, declaring Dr. Adnan al-Bursh have been martyred. Adnan al-Bursh was not the first case of a person who was beaten and died in the prisons since this war. Before him were many cases.
Some people might say, some people will say, that Dr. Adnan al-Bursh was a terrorist.
Like, if I want to answer formally to this question, he was not charged till now, and many of these detainees are not charged from Gaza.
The Israel Defense Forces told Sky News the death of Dr. Al-Bursh was not their responsibility. In a statement, the Israel Prison Service also denied responsibility for the death of the doctor. All basic rights required are fully applied by professionally trained prison guards. We are not aware of the claims you described, and as far as we know, no such events have occurred under IPS responsibility. This story is one of a countless number left buried under the weight of Gaza's recent past. Yet Al-Bursh was a
They don't talk about the Armenian genocide in Turkish history books.
much-loved figure in the territory. His death and the manner in which he died are,
I think that's your point, Flash,
as unforgivable.
They said they can conform with all human rights. Sylvester Stallone didn't die, did he? Oh. No, he didn't die. He didn't die.
I did Rocky. If you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really...
I like Stallone.
I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations!
The second George Washington.
But
said Sly.
And I'm proud to be an
Kind of wish he had have died. I know that's mean of me. But like, I saw Sylvester Stallone was trending. If he had died, like, I could have still had, you know, some respect for him. Could have died with dignity. Wow. Speaking of corrupt politicians, let's go to Dalton, Illinois. Check in with everyone's favorite mayor, Tiffany Henyard.
Exclusive, there is more controversy for the mayor of Dalton tonight. Apparently, when she caught workers removing banners with her picture on them, she called police. But the company that created those banners told our Regina Waldrop they just want the $19,000 they say they're owed.
New additions to Sibley Boulevard. Welcome banners with Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's picture, her self-titled super mayor underneath. But a few weeks ago, this happened.
Yeah, they basically taking down my signs.
Workers with Liberty flag and banner were removing Henyard's signs. Hired to do so, we are told by a majority of trustees. Henyard wasn't happy. This is body cam footage from an officer called to the scene that day.
Who gave y'all the order to take the sign down? How y'all getting paid? Oh, okay. They're our signs, but you know, they're my signs, so why are you taking them down?
So how many had they already taken down?
They took all of them. Press charges on Keith, just so you know, you might have to write a report for me. Press charges on him, and they just in the middle of it, but if I got to press charges on them too.
Press charges on them.
I didn't give that order. I didn't even know.
Soon, Ronnie Bird Sr., the temporary police chief, shows up.
Yes.
He gave you all of them?
Yeah.
Workers give the banners to Henyard's team, and the matter is cleared up, but not really.
No, we have not received any payment for the banners or the brackets.
How much is still owed?
The total is $19,899.60 with the freight.
She spent 20 grand on the signs with their faces to just post all over town. Wow.
North Carolina-based Mosca Design tells NBC5 the village owes them for the banners and holiday decorations.
It's very frustrating. This was something that we did just based on her call and being so excited. And just took her word for it and the signed documents.
Mayor Henyard's attorney told us no comment when we reached out for a
super mayor.
A majority of trustees sent us this statement that says Mayor Henyard's continued practice of engaging vendors without authority or board approval is deeply concerning. This disregard for proper protocol serves only to promote her personal agenda while unfairly burdening taxpayers with the costs.
Let us pick them up and wipe the slate clean because the community has so many other things they need to really work on.
Mosca Design says it is hopeful that the invoice will be paid by the end of the year. Regina Waldrop.
You're hopeful, eh?
Did you guys call for someone? You did? Okay, they're sending another unit. What else did you like want to do? Hablo español. ¿Qué está pasando?
Pagaron por quitar las banderas.
Okay.
Got big old brass nuts. Yes, she does.
No problema que le habláramos. Le hablé y me dijeron que iban a mandar a alguien.
There is something like that, Flash.
Pero ¿quién les dio a ustedes el permiso o la orden de que los quitaran? Something's going on with these guys?
Yeah, they basically taking down my signs.
Yeah,
and I just asked him who told y'all to take them down. He called his boss for it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just...
So I told
It's
him
because of non-payment.
he don't work for the village no more. He's not the VA, Michael Smith is. So I said, who gave y'all the order to take the sign down? How y'all getting paid?
Oh, okay.
They're our signs. Well, you know, they're my signs. So why are you taking them down?
I know. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter be like, "You guys are delusional. You think Mike Tyson's gonna knock him out?"
Tiene derecho a dar órdenes. Ya está despedido.
Es que la verdad a mí más me mandan a hacer el trabajo. Yo no, la verdad yo no, ¿a qué puedo decirle?
So how many had they
She
already?
didn't pay for the signs. They were getting repossessed.
So everything from White County.
Did she put the signs back up? They're already back up, aren't they? She paid somebody from the city to put the signs back up. Guarantee it. We're going over to Indiana, where a police sting apparently went wrong. A suspect was killed, officer injured. This happened in Gary, Indiana.
Let's get back to some more breaking news here in northwest Indiana this time. A suspect who allegedly attacked a police officer is dead after an officer-involved shooting.
And WGN's Jenna Barnes is live in Gary.
Flash, I just assume there's some rules where, like, because he has a habit of, like, he'll fight Anderson Silva in a boxing match under boxing rules. And it's like, that's a disadvantage to Anderson Silva, who's an MMA fighter. Or he'll fight a boxer under MMA rules or something. So, like, I just assume there's something like that going on. But this is Netflix. I'm going to have to watch it, but I'm going to pirate it. I encourage everybody else to pirate it, too.
Gary tonight with details on this for us. Jenna?
Known for his kicks and his knees. Exactly right, Flash.
Shot and killed who they describe as a machete-wielding robber during a sting operation this afternoon. It happened on Maryland Street just after noon today. Police tell us they set up a sting operation after receiving at least 3 reports since late last month of people getting robbed by a person with a machete after agreeing to meet up and purchase something from that person selling the item on social media. Police set up their own purchase with the person they suspected was the robber and say he pulled out a machete on the undercover officer. So another officer shot the suspect.
The suspect had a machete-style weapon. So
machete-style
was displayed and it was acted upon the officer. And then when the REACT team actually came in contact with him, he continued that same behavior with this machete-style weapon, and that's what caused the officer to fire upon him.
The Lake County Sheriff's Department is investigating the officer-involved shooting aspect of this. They are the ones who told us that the suspect died from his injuries. The undercover officer was also injured. We're told his injuries are non-life-threatening. I asked the police chief here if there's body camera video of this incident. He told me that body camera video is common in patrol incidents, but not undercover operations like this one. So no confirmation that we will
Of course not.
Any of what unfolded here today. We're live at the Gary Police Department. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.
All right, Jenna, thank you.
Of course there's no body camera. Gonna hit the content warning again for this one. This happened a few days ago. I think it happened during the craziness that was last week with the election and all. That's why I missed this one. Yeah, posted 7 days ago. A suspect live streamed their own attempted murder of a child safety worker.
DCS says thankfully that man is out of the hospital recovering at home, but this incident is raising concerns about safety. And again, we want to warn you, this video is disturbing. A vicious, unprovoked attack recorded by the attacker, streaming live on Facebook as police say he attempted to kill a state employee. Mesa police say this happened on Tuesday around 5 p.m. inside this building at Alma School Road in Southern. An Arizona Department of Child
Oh, it happened on Election Day. That's why I missed it.
Safety office. The suspect, DeAndre Terrell Johnson, beginning his live stream as he sat down with a DCS employee to discuss his case involving his children.
With all this DCS, I want to introduce you so that we can have a proper introduction on this.
Growing agitated when the employee doesn't want to be in his live stream.
I want to introduce you. Don't be afraid. You hold a public position, man.
At the end of the hour-long meeting,
You gonna dap me up?
Johnson puts the employee in a chokehold, attempting to strangle him. 2 minutes go by.
You was a mother dead man.
The employee doesn't appear to be moving.
You was a dead man.
Then you
Wow.
hear witnesses in the background.
You was a dead man.
The whole attack lasting 2.5 minutes.
Ooh.
I make my point.
Records obtained by 12 News show multiple people called 911 and Johnson left. First responders finding the victim lying on the ground injured in an altered state of consciousness. As he was taken to the hospital, police began their search for Johnson, and when they found him, he fled, prompting a pursuit. Officers deploying a grappler, but that still didn't stop him. He was ultimately tracked down and arrested within 3 hours of the assault.
He's on the way. You made your point. No, I didn't.
This violent attack raising questions about security for DCS employees. Earlier this year, citing budget cuts, DCS cut ties with a security company which provided guards to protect caseworkers during visits at a Phoenix field office, leaving some employees questioning the department's priorities. In response to Tuesday's assault, staff received an email reminding employees to use an emergency communication software they have access to in case of an emergency, and to consider meeting with parents in pairs. When 12 News asked if those measures would prevent a similar attack from happening again, a DCS spokesperson said, although there is no way of predicting or stopping an unprovoked attack, alert media can help in receiving immediate law enforcement response in escalated situations or when a staff member feels unsafe. This victim, who DCS says is now at home recovering, later told police from the hospital that Johnson threatened his life a week prior, but he was able to calm him down. Doctors described his injuries to police as absolutely serious, saying the victim almost died. Johnson.
Yeah, like that could cause brain damage easily.
In addition to 2 counts of aggravated assault and unlawful flight.
Cutting off oxygen to his brain for multiple minutes.
A comprehensive review of this incident. Johnson is being held on a $500,000 cash bond. We're in Mesa. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Oh, he wasn't cutting off the artery? Okay, couple more that are like content warning. And then we'll get to, you know, more fun stuff. Kinda. Kinda. A mother was ejected from a golf cart and apparently died.
We see them everywhere. Golf carts. They're not just for golf courses. At the Village's retirement community in Florida, it's how most residents get around. Students also use them in place of cars. Now, a tragedy in Maryland is highlighting how dangerous they can be.
32-year-old female fell out of a golf cart, still unconscious.
32-year-old Mary Blissetti was ejected from a cart at a golf community in Annapolis. She had to be airlifted to a hospital.
We have plenty of space.
How was she ejected?
In front. We'll handle the landing site.
Blissetti died 2 days later. She leaves behind a husband and a 2-month-old baby. Here they are last year, proudly announcing they were to become parents.
What we tell folks is when you're dealing with a golf cart, just treat it like you would a motor vehicle. It's not a toy. It's something you need to take very seriously.
Many places are now treating them like cars. You can even be ticketed.
Registration and proof of insurance, please.
And safety is now being taken into consideration by many manufacturers. The investigation into the death of the young mother is still underway.
Like ejected, just that sounds like one of those seats from a cartoon that has a spring under it. And boing, 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 ejecting him from the golf cart. Okay, this one's gonna piss you off. I thought about not even doing it. But this is pretty wild. This definitely falls into the most absurd news, politics, and current events on the internet. A child has not been seen in 3 years. Police claim her mom gave it to her drug dealer. This is the mom. Ashley Rowland has been arrested for child abandonment after allegedly giving her daughter to her drug dealer, who might be the father. A mother in Oklahoma was charged with child abandonment after police said she gave her child to her drug dealer last year. Ashley Rowland, 39, has been accused of handing her 2-year-old daughter, who would be 5 today, over to a man named Carlos, who she told police could be the father of the child. She was buying drugs from him. When she handed the child over, she told police, according to an affidavit obtained by a TV station, officials with the Oklahoma Department of Human Services tried to take custody of the child in April of 2023, but she could not be located. The document stated at the time the woman told officials her daughter was with her father in Georgia. The girl has not been seen since. An Amber Alert was never issued for her. Rowland told police she was using drugs when she allegedly gave her daughter away and did not know where the girl was. She was arrested by officers with the Moore Police Department after the affidavit was filed on November 1st. It wasn't immediately clear whether Rowland had legal counsel. Rowland was booked into the Oklahoma County Detention Center on a $3,000 bond. That's all. Released before a judge in the case could raise it to $100,000. Wow. In a statement to the outlet, a spokesman for the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety said situations like those described in this affidavit are heartbreaking and unimaginable. Like the rest of the community, Oklahoma Human Services rules and concern for the child's safety. What the fuck, woman? Did she trade the kid for drugs? Or did she really believe that that could have been the kid's dad and he'd give it a better life or something? I mean, I have questions. Porchy, thank you for the resub. He was buying meth, apparently. Yeah, other inmates will not take kindly to her behavior. That's probably why she got the fuck out of Dodge. She made that $3,000 bill and got the hell out of there. A man was arrested for using a bear suit to pull an insurance scam.
Very bizarre insurance scam foiled in San Bernardino.
Very bizarre. Ma'am, don't do that.
A very bizarre insurance scam foiled in San Bernardino County.
Yeah, they claimed a bear trashed their Rolls Royce, but the insurance company says it was a bear imposter, and they found the furry suit to prove it. Shelby Nelson in Lake Arrowhead with the story. Hi, Shelby.
Hi, Sharon, Micah. Yeah, just when you think you saw it all, not quite, especially for us here in news. I think we were all surprised by this story. Now, it's called Operation Bear Claw for obvious reasons. And when a lot of us saw that video, you really had to do a double take to see, was that really a bear? Well, take a look for yourself and see if you can find any discrepancies.
It didn't look like a bear to me.
Believable or barely believable. From afar, this surveillance video shows something or someone rummaging through a car. But if you look closer, it might just look like a bear. That's partially correct. It's actually someone wearing a bear costume accused of trying to get a hefty insurance payout. The video is from January of this year on the 700 block of Bishorn Drive in Lake Arrowhead.
I'm kind of just stunned because I don't believe somebody could do something like that.
There are bear encounters up here for sure. It's not something that's like completely out of the realm of possibility.
Investigators with California's Department of Insurance say that the suspects made a claim with their insurance company, stating that a bear had entered their 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost and that the animal had caused interior damage. Images show perfectly aligned claw marks. Once the insurance company started investigating, detectives found additional claims with 2 other insurance companies on the same day, same location, only this time with 2 Mercedes vehicles.
What a bunch of knuckleheads. Try to do something so silly.
Residents tell us it's not entirely unbelievable. After all, it's bear territory. State investigators later contacted the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, where experts found several discrepancies from the video.
The person, as they entered the vehicle, they did not seem to troubleshoot the handle at all. There were no biological traces left behind in the vehicle. The scratches, there were 6 long scratch marks from the tool that was used, and bears do not have 6 toes, they have 5.
The costume turned up during a search warrant leading to the arrest of 4 suspects from Glendale and Valley Village, 3 of them seen here. They were charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy after insurance companies were defrauded more than $140,000.
Well, people will go to any lengths to make money, you know?
Now, something that wildlife
Had an ELO shirt on.
added is that if you look closely, there's a
That was
lot
badass.
of black in that costume, and it's not because the bear is a skinny bear. Now, in the meantime, the San Bernardino County District Attorney says they are reviewing this case to determine if they will file charges. Reporting live from Lake
yeah, you should.
KTLA 5 News.
Oh, hold on. The anchors are still going. Let me let it roll.
Because first of all, the utensils are they're cooking utensils.
Yeah, you pull pork with those things. You don't.
But they use them as claws, right?
And by the way, the costume actually did have 5 fingers if you count it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You know.
What can you do?
What
are you gonna do?
I want to give them credit for something, but
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what. Like creativity.
You getting a laugh. They get credit for
there
that.
you go. For comedy.
There you go.
Oh, shit. Cargo plane had to make an emergency landing. This happened at... I don't even know. What is GSP Airport? This happened in South Carolina. Greenville, Spartanburg.
Now of our breaking news at the Greenville Spartanburg International Airport this afternoon, we have learned that a military aircraft needed to make an emergency landing. Our Nate Stanley has more now from GSP.
Here along Highway 80 outside of the GSP airport, you can still see that military aircraft sitting on the runway here. Now, this is what we know so far as to how it got there. This C-17 military plane made an emergency landing here at the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport this afternoon. The North Carolina Air National Guard plane alerted GSP around 2:40 this afternoon that it needed to land, and did so safely a short time after that. According to the GSP communications team, they say that there was minimal disruption to the airport operations as a result of the landing, and that all operations and runways are fully open and operating normally as of about 3 p.m. this afternoon. We will continue to look for answers as to why it needed to make that landing and provide those updates to you as soon as we get them. Reporting from the GSP airport, Nate Stanley, WIFF News 4.
Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you. Good job. I got Smokey's ass right in front of my monitor. 2 people miraculously survived a small plane that crashed in a field. I believe this happened out in California.
A small plane has crashed in the Sepulveda Basin just off the 405 freeway.
Just off the 405.
Survived. KTLA's Omar Lewis live now near the scene with an update for us. Omar, good morning.
Jessica, good morning. As you mentioned, that plane had taken off from the Van Nuys Airport just around 7 o'clock this morning, only in the air for about 5 minutes before crashing right here in this field, as you mentioned, in the Sepulveda Basin off Burbank Boulevard and Woodley Avenue. Want to bring in LAFD Fire Captain Eric Scott to tell us more about what happened. Captain Scott, thanks for joining us. What do you know here?
Well, as you mentioned, we arrived just after 7 o'clock. This is Sepulveda Boulevard near the 405 freeway. Long story short, those occupants are very fortunate today to have walked away. So we responded to a reported plane crash. It's a 1968 Cessna. We found it upside down in this dirt patch. Fortunately, no fire, no extrication required. Both occupants, both adults, one male, one female, got out on their own. Some minor lacerations to their face. We rapidly assessed them, offered them transport to the hospital. They declined that transport. And so now we're just undergoing the investigation with FAA and NTSB.
Got it. Did those 2 people inside, we know that they are still probably here on the scene, did they declined any medical attention? Any idea of what went wrong? I know that's a part of your investigation right now.
Yeah, it's a good question, and that is certainly part of the investigation. It's too early to tell, and we wouldn't be the ones necessarily to tell that story.
I feel like they're the most crash small plane because they're just the most common.
Notified. LAPD's on scene, LAWA, Park Rangers. It's a group effort.
Got it. We were talking about a fire that just broke out here right down the street from where we were located when we were first here about an hour ago.
Like, I don't know of any other small planes other than Cessnas.
That was near Oxnard.
I'm sure there are, though.
So a large plume of smoke that a lot of commuters on the 101 freeway and the 405 saw, and that was a reported rubbish fire in a homeless encampment. We arrived on scene. It was pretty well entrenched fire that took place, difficult access. And
we're not even talking about the plane crash anymore.
Surrounded on both sides. The benefit of that is we're able to bring a fire engine and what we call a water tender on the 405.
Maybe Piper is a better plane brand because, yeah, I never hear of any Piper crashing. This dude was apparently a repairman. He was banned. I don't know what this means. This whole story is gonna have to be explained to me. Banned repairman John Jackson strikes again in South Carolina.
John Jackson. I have been waiting to meet you, John. Why are you still taking... It's a story Queen City News has followed for more than 5 years.
Oh, this is North Carolina.
Complaints about a repairman who takes money for jobs he never completes. It's resulted in honest people being out hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Today, I traveled to McConnell, South Carolina, where a man says the same guy ripped him off, and he only discovered who he was by watching one of our stories.
John Jackson. That's when I knew it was him.
Watching one of our stories about John Jackson, Bill Swope immediately recognized the repairman who was at his house just a month prior.
It's just not right. I'm trying not to get choked up, but I'm angry. Really angry.
Bill been through the ringer. The past few years, he's dealt with one family loss after another. He's in between jobs, and just last month, his fridge went out. He searched online for repairman near me to get it fixed.
Next thing you know, somebody's calling and say, hey, I could be there today, let me help you.
He had no idea the guy coming to supposedly repair his fridge would be the straw that broke the camel's back.
And I keep getting kicked, I keep getting back up, and then this guy pulls this. I can see where people can be pushed to violence.
Invoices and Venmo receipts show Swope paid John Jackson more than $1,600. One was for the first repair. The other was when Jackson had to return when the fridge stopped working again. 6 weeks later,
Now the fridge still doesn't work. Freezer is not cold. I have blocks of ice in bottles to keep it at about 48, and hopefully I don't lose any food.
it's a similar story we've heard from past victims.
Never came back with us, never called us.
Called him multiple times, sent him text messages.
Repeated texts and calls were unanswered.
My number's blocked.
The Attorney General has banned John Jackson from doing work or advertising for repair jobs in North Carolina. John Jackson, I have been waiting to.
Was it really?
Why are you still?
I was gonna say the same thing, but that was a really nice fridge. That might have been like a 10 grand fucking fridge. So like, oh yeah, I can kind of understand. Dude's like, I bet you have.
Sent him text messages.
Repeated texts and calls were unanswered.
My number's blocked.
The Attorney General has banned John Jackson from doing work or advertising for repair jobs in North Carolina. John Jackson, I have been waiting to meet you, John. Why are you still taking money for jobs?
I'm not taking any money for jobs.
A judge has ruled that you can't even advertise for work. We got your number off a website that is still there. We hired him for a fake repair job, and he promptly showed up.
Oh, this motherfucker's $1,400. Never mind. I guess I don't know what a fridge costs. Damn.
Then this past June, we caught him on home surveillance in Salisbury doing the same thing. Calling him on a new number we got from his latest unhappy customer, we got him on the line.
How can I help you?
Hi, is this John?
Yes, it is.
He disputed that he wronged Swope and says his accusations are false. He said his fridge developed a leak after the repairs, adding,
This unit developed a leak. We went back and attempted to fix the leak.
You keep saying we. Who's we?
We, the company, us.
What's the name of your company?
What's the relevance?
I mean, you should be able to name the name of your company at the drop of a hat.
I should.
Could be a free ad on TV for you.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
What's the name of your
Because
company?
you're not allowed to advertise.
Ma'am. So what?
I just want to know what the name of your company is. You keep saying we.
Star Appliance.
Star Appliance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So was that on his invoice then, Star Appliance?
Should be.
Okay, because it's not. If you notice on that invoice, the address for his business also leads to an apartment complex near Uptown Charlotte. We reached out to the Department of Consumer Affairs in South Carolina to see how many complaints they have against Jackson. We have yet to hear back. Swope did file a complaint with that department and has been assigned a claim number.
The vanishing repairman. Well, I guess it's better than vanishing from your fucking family. They thought the dude was dead. Thought he died in a kayaking accident. He spent a month looking for him, but apparently he had a secret life going on.
The other day we told you about the father of three who cops say left his family behind and fled overseas to start a new life with another woman. And now this video has surfaced of a man who resembles the father talking about being unhappy in his marriage and wanting to leave the country. Is it him? Here's Jim Murray.
Could this guy be the missing dad who cops say faked his own death to seek a new life in another country?
Trying to find a companion that I'm content with.
Ryan Borgward is the father
Don't we all, brother?
presumed drowned on a kayak trip in Wisconsin last August. Cops now say it was all a ruse to abandon his wife and children and link up with his online girlfriend from Uzbekistan in Central Asia. Now this intriguing video is just surfacing. The video was taken last June here at the beach in San Diego, and it shows a young woman holding a sign saying, "Ask me for free advice." A cyclist sees the sign and pulls over.
Do I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
Oh, wow.
There?
No.
Why do you want to go?
Meet a woman.
To meet a woman. And it was
Uzbekistan.
Do you think the woman is real? Did this dude get catfished? He's like in the Taliban or something now, isn't he?
The reference to the faraway nation of Uzbekistan is one reason why the video is attracting so much attention today. Another is the physical similarities. Compare the cyclist to Borgward's image.
I was like, this is such a weird parallel.
Bailey Boomhauer is the young content creator who carried that "Ask Me for Free Advice" sign.
Finding a woman in Uzbekistan, it just was a little too close to home.
And there's another apparent similarity to Borgward.
I'm married.
Bailey Boomhauer says after she posted the video on social media, it triggered comments like, "It's him," and "Girl, you cracked the case." Allison Hall spoke to Jim Stafford, a forensic analyst with Eclipse Forensics.
Do you think that this video is Ryan Borgward?
The way that there's that furrowed brow and the creases when he smiles and the prominent nose, I'd say it's a very high probability. It could very well be your guy.
Bailey says she sent her video to Green Lake County Sheriff's Office in Wisconsin. Despite our expert's opinion, a sheriff spokesman tells Inside Edition, "We do not believe this is Ryan."
Do I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
They don't believe it was him. I don't know. You guys know me. I can't fucking... Don't look like the same guy to me. I don't think the ears look the same. I don't think the jaw looks the same. DJ Dub confident it's him. I don't know. I'm not good with faces. The Green Lake County Sheriff's Office does not believe that's Ryan. However, cops are incompetent, so... Six Flags down in Texas is closing down. Spider Pickle, welcome in. Six Flags in Texas is closing down 2 rides to make room for a bigger one.
Visitors to Six Flags over Texas in Arlington will notice some changes to the theme park. 2 roller coasters just closed to make way for a record-breaking dive roller coaster that'll open in 2026. The theme park says the new coaster will be added in the section of the park where the Lava Bora and El Diablo coaster.
I'm good with head, but I can't tell people's faces apart. Don't make me play the thing where I thought the representative from Texas was Bobby Lashley. And like I felt really racist afterwards and shit. Not good.
Coasters are. The park's president says more details about the new coaster should be released by next summer. The park last opened a new roller coaster in 2023.
The last year. Yeah, I don't think I'm going on any roller coasters. We have a koala bear break-in.
Oh my God, there's a koala inside the house.
He ain't harming nobody.
What do I do?
He's just chilling.
What do I do?
Go pet it.
Ele tá subindo em cima do...
Tem que ligar pra alguém pra resgatar.
Oh my God, what do I do?
Looks like he's wanting to take a shit.
Vou ligar pro John. Olha, tem um koala. Filma aí. Tem um koala. Como é que nós vamos tirar o koala?
Oh my God, there's a koala inside the house.
Como é que nós vamos tirar o koala daqui de dentro? Ele entrou pela porta do Aruque que fica aberta.
Oh my God. What do I do?
Ele tava aqui, o Aruque tava cheirando ele.
What do I do?
O que ele tá fazendo?
Ele tá subindo em cima do...
Tem que ligar pra alguém pra resgatar.
Oh my God, what do I do?
Vou ligar pro Jordan. Vou ligar pro Jordan. O Jordan vai saber.
Oh my God.
I mean, I would try to pet it, but like I'm stupid. So just throw that out there.
Oh my God, there's a koala
Como é que
inside the
nós vamos tirar
house.
o koala daqui de dentro? Ele entrou pela porta do Aruque que fica aberta.
Oh my God. What do I do?
Ele tava aqui.
What do I do?
What do I do?
O que ele tá fazendo?
I thought they were like omnivores. I thought they didn't even eat meat.
Tem que ligar pra alguém pra resgatar.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, they do have syphilis.
Vou ligar pro Jordan. Tem um koala. Filma aí, filma aí.
I mean,
Filma aí.
I probably do too, so.
Oh my God, there's a koala
Como é que
inside
nós
the
vamos tirar
house.
o koala daqui de dentro? Ele entrou pela porta do Aruque que fica aberta.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, herbivores.
What do I
Herbivores.
do?
Ele tava aqui, o Aruque tava cheirando
I
ele.
thought they were herbivores.
O que ele tá fazendo?
They're a cute little bear though.
Tem que ligar pra alguém pra resgatar.
Oh my God, what do I do?
I was trying to name the accent as well. Hey, Battle Opossum, are you ready?
Tira o koala.
Oh my God, there's a koala
Como é que
inside
nós
the
vamos tirar
house.
o koala daqui de dentro? Ele entrou pela porta do Aruque que fica aberta.
Oh my God. What do I do?
Ele tava aqui, o Aruque tava cheirando ele.
What do I do?
O que ele tá fazendo?
Ele tá subindo em cima do...
Tem que ligar pra alguém pra resgatar.
Oh my God, what do I do?
Vou ligar pro Jordan. Filma aí. Como é que nós vamos tirar o koala?
Oh my God, there's a koala
Como é que
inside
nós
the
vamos tirar
house.
o koala daqui de dentro? Ele entrou pela porta do Aruque que fica aberta.
Oh my God. What do I do?
I don't. God damn it, Smokey, you still got my way.
What do I do?
O que ele tá fazendo?
If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to send you guys over to the Leftist Mafia.
Filma aí.
I think we're raiding into Matt Bender, but I can't see because Smokey's sitting in front of my monitor.
Oh my God, there's a...
Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you Saturday night for Classic Wrestling and Saturday Night Live.
What do I do?
Ele tava aqui,